Hey, good morning, guys. It's Glenn Lundy over at Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick here in Paris, Kentucky. We are going to get a little uncomfortable today, talk about some things, do things a little bit differently. It's going to be an awesome morning. Hope you're having an awesome morning. A little foggy out there today, but it's supposed to be warm, so I'm excited about it. Stay tuned. We got a lot going on today. Good morning, everybody. Okay, first thing that I want to do this morning is I want every other person in their chair to switch sides. Every other person in the chair switch sides. So Nick, stand up. Jordan, stand up. Every other person, Gordon, Robbie, Ben, switch sides. And I want the managers up here in the front rows, and I want some salespeople back there in the back rows. The managers up front, Mo, come on. I want managers in the front, I want salespeople in the back, I want every other person to switch. Mix it up. We're going to mix it up today. It's going to be fun. Good. Well, what's up, Mom? You taking my seat? Yeah, sorry. All right, cool. All right, everybody's a little mixed up now, right? We're not sitting next to the people we normally sit next to. Got management kind of up here to the front. Got some salespeople to the back, so that's perfect. Okay, so as you can see, I'm wearing my Raiders gear today, right? I'm wearing my running pants. I'm wearing my workout stuff. I have an interesting story on that this morning. So here's what I was thinking. I've been talking to my management team a lot about making changes here in the dealership, about not doing the same thing over and over every time and expecting different results, right? So I've been talking to the management team a lot about it, and they have been trying incredibly hard to mix things up a little bit, maybe push you guys in a little bit different ways, maybe find some different processes, things like that. Some they're doing really good at, some they might be making mistakes at, but they're trying very hard. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, if I'm going to lead this team and I'm asking them to do things differently, then I have to ask myself to do things a little bit differently as well. I have to take myself out of my comfort zone. So I thought, well, how can I do that this morning? How can I take myself out of my comfort zone, do things just a little bit different? And so the first thing I thought of as I'm in my closet picking out my clothes is I thought, man, I'm always in there Saturday morning, you know, I got my sweater vest, or I got my suit, and I got my tie, and that's just what I've done every Saturday for I don't know how long. So I thought, well, maybe today I'll just not do that. I'll just do something a little bit different. I'll wear my Raiders gear and you know, just mix it up a little bit in the meeting. So that was my thought. So I get ready to leave the house, right? I've got my workout backpack on, and I'm getting ready to leave the house, and I don't have my, I usually always have hangers, right? I got my hanger clothes, my dress shirt, my pants, and I thought, man, this feels really uncomfortable. This is really weird for me. I'm not used to this. So I went back in the house, and I got my sweater vest, I got my dress shoes, and I got my, you know, my slacks and everything, put them all in the hanger, and I thought, I'll just take them with me just in case. Just, you know, there's a lot of people that watch our live feeds, and this might be the day that, like, Grant Cardone's watching, and he sees me in my Raiders gear, or Garrett Dvorsky, the vice president of General Motors, might just happen to pop into the live stream, and he's like, what the heck is Glenn doing wearing Raiders stuff while he's trying to lead the team? Or who knows, maybe like Britney Spears or something. It might be the time that she pops in and I'm not at my best, you know. So I'll bring my clothes with me just in case. So I get to the gym and I'm working out this morning. I'm, you know, working out with Sam, and Darian Sanders walks in, which most of you guys know Darian. He's a very good friend of mine. He's very influential and high up at the church, and we're talking, and I'm wearing a sleeveless Raiders shirt at the time, and I'm flexing, you know, I'm just kind of messing around. And Darian's like, dude, you need to go in there and wear that. You should wear that sleeveless shirt and go flex in your meeting this morning. And I'm thinking, Sam was there. Sam can attest to it. I'm like, how ironic is it that the one day I was thinking about wearing my workout gear to the meeting, that this guy, this very spiritual, influential guy, tells me I should wear my workout gear to the meeting, right? So I'm like, okay, that's a sign. I definitely got to wear my workout stuff. So get in the locker room, take my shower, do all that. And I'm standing like at the locker, and there's my hanging stuff, and I'm thinking, no, I can't go to a meeting in Raiders gear. I just can't do it. I got to put on my slacks, and I start getting dressed, and I'm like, no, dude. This is exactly what you've been talking to the team about. It's exactly what I've been talking to each and every one of you guys about. It's about getting a little uncomfortable and doing things that we don't normally do to disrupt our systems so that we can disrupt this industry so that we can reach our goals. I'm asking you to do it, but I'm struggling with it myself. Now, I've had quite a few of you guys recently as we've been talking about doing more videos and doing stuff with social media. You guys are coming to me and you're saying, man, what are they going to think about me? What do I say? If I pop onto a video, what if I embarrass myself? What if I do something stupid or I make a mistake? I know that's running through you guys' head. I know it. You guys are coming and talking to me about it. And my answer to that is simple. Just press record, man. Just press record and let's just do it. Face the fear. Get uncomfortable. Get out there. We all stand here and we say that we're on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the auto industry. That's what we say we're here to do. But we can't do that in our tiny little bubble, in our tiny little comfort zone. We just can't. We'll continue to do average, right? Which, don't get me wrong, in our store, average is a big deal, right? It's a really big deal. We have an average month, we sell 850 cars. By the way, you guys had the biggest October in the last 60 plus years of being in business. Okay? So what's average around here is really phenomenal, across the industry, but we still live in this little bubble. I was talking to John Hinkson about it yesterday. I talked to some of you guys about it yesterday, but you got Frank Kreinite, this guy out here that sold 135 cars last month. Okay, no fleet. He does every delivery. He does every test drive. It's all appointment only. He sells 14 to 16 cars every single Saturday. He has 1,000 cars out for the year. That's the guy we need to start comparing ourselves to, right? That's how we get out of this bubble and out of our comfort zone and get out there. Now, Frank Kreinite does a good job. If you're not following him, follow him on Facebook. Does a good job of posting and sharing and putting himself out there and chasing the referrals and doing all of those things that disrupt this industry. He takes care of his customers on a level that most people just can't even touch. He's got them lining up at the door to buy cars from him. Why? Well, they're lining up at the door to buy cars from him because this industry mostly sucks. Typically, people get a horrible experience. And that's our job to change that. That's my mission, to change that. Because if we can be the ones that disrupt it and change it, and we can be the leaders, then we can all reach awesome levels of success, right? Every single one of us. So let's get uncomfortable. Now, I'm not saying show up to work on Monday in your workout gear. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, whatever you got to do to mix it up a little bit, let's mix it up. Let's do the things that we're afraid to do. So that was the first reason I wore my Raiders stuff today. The second reason that I wore my Raiders stuff today is I've been talking to you guys about creating fans, right? And so I wanted to show you what a fan looks like. Okay? I got my Raiders shirt, I got my Raiders pants, I got Raiders shoes. Okay, I had Raiders shorts on earlier, Raiders sleeveless tee. I go on live videos in front of tens of thousands of people every week. I got my Raiders chair in the back. Can anybody doubt that I'm a Raiders fan? Is there any doubt in here? Okay, I've been a Raiders fan for an incredibly long time. Now, when I grew up a little different than a lot of people, okay? My dad was black, my mom was white. My dad was white, my mom was black. I grew up in a small community. There weren't a lot of people that were mixed in the community that I grew up in. But I grew up kind of on the West Coast. I was in Arizona. We didn't have any pro football teams at the time. And back then, a lot of you won't know because you're not old enough, but back then you were either on the West Coast, you were either a Raiders fan or a 49ers fan. Those were basically your choices. And you beat up Dallas Cowboys fans. Okay? That's how it worked back then. And those were our choices. And so me, as a child, the Raiders were winning. They were this winning team. And I could fit in a little bit better if I could be a Raiders fan. I could get together as part of a community of people that would embrace me, that would take me in, even though I was maybe not dark enough to be with this group and not light enough to be with this group. So I started to become a Raiders fan at that time in my life. Okay, and back then it was crazy. We didn't necessarily have the money to buy the shirts and the pants and the shoes and things like that. And so I made some poor decisions back in those days. I lied, cheated, and stole my way to fit in. I did whatever I could to be a part of this winning team. We have a winning team here at Dane Cummins. We have an awesome team here at Dane Cummins. And we have some fans out there. Okay, anybody know Chris Arnold? I know Tim knows Chris Arnold. Tim and Tim know Chris Arnold. Okay, Chris Arnold is a raving fan of ours. All right, he's bought tons, 11, 12 cars from us, I think, over the last 2 to 3 years. He loves his experience every single time he comes in. He brought his daughter to us. We put her in a car. If anybody talks bad about us online, Chris Arnold will jump on there and say something to the opposite. He will fight to the death for us. Now, if you cross him, he will make sure people know that too. Okay, but he's a raving fan of ours. Why? Why do you think Chris loves us so much? Well, when he walks in here, how many people say hi to him? I know I talk to him for a few minutes. Tim does. People recognize him. We talk to him. We welcome him. We make him feel good, right? We give him this incredible experience. And then we show him out on the lot, and we take him to the cars, and we just give him this VIP treatment. And we make him feel like he's a winner, and we make him feel like he's a part of our team. Then he becomes a raving fan. And her name just lost me. There's others out there, okay? There's quite a few out there. There's been some Google posts and some Google reviews and stuff that have been going up lately. We had the one customer that drove their vehicle about 10,000 miles without an oil change, and we had some issues there, and they posted a bunch of reviews, and now there's people like jumping in on the reviews like, you drove your vehicle 10,000 miles without an oil change? What? Little emojis like, don't do that. So we've got all these fans. It's because we're a winning team. And people want to be a part of a winning team. So we got to make sure as our customers come in here, we make them feel that. Make them feel like they're a part of this. Not that they're separate, not that they're a customer and we're the team. They got to be a part of this. I'm working with Josh Cummins and I'm working with some other people so that we can get our own clothing line. Some Dane Cummins gear that you guys can wear so that instead of me out rocking Raiders when I'm working out, I can be out rocking Dane Cummins. Because we cannot disrupt this industry unless we put ourselves out there. We got to put our names out there in front of as many people as humanly possible. Now, the third reason that I wore my Raider stuff today, okay? 1, I wanted to make myself uncomfortable. 2, I wanted to show you what a fan looks like and make sure that you understand how important it is that our customers become raving fans. The third reason that I wanted to wear my Raiders gear today is I wanted to drop the professional level down a little bit and just get a little real and raw with all of you guys. Just kind of get a little bit more casual because I need you guys' help. I want to talk to you guys. In my position, it's kind of tough. Okay, I'm the guy that's sitting in the big office with his gold tie and, running around the building and meeting with the owners and doing all this stuff. And regretfully, from that position, I try to keep my eyes on everything, but it's always the 50,000-foot view is what I get. So I need some participation from you guys this morning, okay? I want to know, and I want you to be 100% honest with me because we're all family in here, right? So we can talk. And to be kind is to be clear. So I want to know from the salespeople, from my troops on the floor, I want to know what stumbling blocks are you guys running into out there on the lot. I want to know what stumbling blocks you guys might be running into with your management team. I want to know what stumbling blocks you may be running into with the BDC, the way that we distribute leads, all that stuff. I want to know. I really want to know. Okay? I know that one of my stumbling blocks, as far as like with Josh Cummins, one of my stumbling blocks is having those vehicles all the way the heck over there on that hill, and they're not showing up in the key track system, and it's a nightmare trying to get them, and our customer experience is not really good, right? If it doesn't pop up in the key track and we got to spend half an hour finding it, that's not a good deal. And having those cars over in the warehouse and just all over there and trying to keep track of the ups, and the service people having to track them down, and parts people having to track stuff down, and detail people having to track stuff down, and a lot of times wasted. And that's one of the stumbling blocks that's keeping us from growing. I understand that, and I've expressed that to Josh Cummins. And he's doing anything and everything in his power right now. He's doing everything in his power to try to make a better situation for all of us. Okay? There's great stuff on the horizon. Earlier in the year, I had some stumbling blocks with the service department. I wasn't feeling good as I was going to bed at night, knowing that we were sometimes selling cars that hadn't been serviced yet. They had just got to the lot. They were already online. We were selling them before a pre-delivery inspection, and we had a couple near misses. We had a couple customers that ran into a few issues. And so I came and stood uncomfortably in front of the owners of the dealership and all of my other higher ups in leadership, and I said, look, man, I'm not comfortable with this. Here's what I need to do. I need to take a pay cut. I need to sell less cars, and we need to make sure everything gets serviced before we retail it, just before we even put it online. And that wasn't comfortable, guys. It wasn't easy to go and say that to the guys whose names are on the sign. But because we did that, we ended up coming up with some new software, right? We got something called Rapid Recon, and we were able to implement this software and get all of our vehicles serviced. And we took a drop in used car sales. We went from selling 600 used cars a month down to 252 one month. Okay? We went down 66%. So take your paycheck, roll it down 66%. Okay? So we went down 66%, and then we started to climb our way back up, and last month you guys sold 600 used cars again. 600 used cars that have been serviced, that are taken care of, that are exactly the way they should be for our customers and that our customers deserve. It doesn't help to be quiet about the things we got going on around here. It doesn't help. We're all family. We can talk. We can talk clearly. So who's got something for me this morning? A stumbling block, something in your way, something that you lose sleep over, something that you worry about, something that makes you anxious. Let's be honest. Talk to me. The floor is now yours. Everybody's scared. What about a new hire? What about one of my new hires?
The key machine last night had a lot of issues with it.
A lot of issues with the key machine.
20 minutes trying to get a key out to show a customer a car.
Okay. I just updated software on the key machine, and so we've got those 9 drawers. The one drawer was out. Pretty much my issue there is whenever the key machine goes down, normally we have to call Glenn, and I think that's probably my fault. I probably should show a few more of you guys how to fix the machine. It's a high volume machine. It's going to have a few glitches here and there. But I will work on making sure a few more people know how to fix it when it goes down. What else? We're perfect.
Nobody knows how to fix the tag machine. If it breaks at night, there's like nobody knows how to fix those tags.
Very true. I don't know how to fix the tag machine.
Yeah.
Okay, now good. So a couple little products, tag machine, key machine. All right, what about our processes, our management, things like that that are going to help you sell more cars? You might.
I think Bill's lease sheet, worksheet is a lot easier for us to understand and to explain to the customer rather than the Gym Financial worksheet. It's just easier to show in comparison to traditional finance to leasing. You're explaining it to somebody because it's on both sides. You can show them everything rather than just one number at the bottom of the page.
Beautiful. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about right there. I agree with you 100%. I think Bill's lease worksheet shows the retail versus the lease in a way that's very easy for the customer to understand. It's a little better experience for the customer than the GM Financial one. Managers, why do we use the GM Financial one? Because it's faster, it's easier, right? Yes. Is it faster and it's easier because we've used it for years, or is it faster and it's easier because it's just faster and easier?
It's faster and
What's that? The math is always right. Okay, so what can we do about that? Where's Martin?
Right here.
What can we do about that?
I can train anybody that wants to learn about how to work it and get them used to how to calculate.
How do we make sure it's accurate all the time? And how do we get these guys to where they can use it in a fast and efficient manner? You can work on that.
Getting used to it, just knowing what goes where, and I'll make sure it's streamlined and easier to use.
Okay, here's what we've done. We all agree and believe that leasing is very important for our customers. Raise your hand if you currently lease a vehicle. Okay, so over 50% of this room is currently leasing, yet we're only leasing about 15% of our vehicles to our customers. Now, John Hinkson and I also had this conversation just the other day. Okay, John told me that he's got a pile of customers like this that he sold cars to 2 and 3 years ago that would like to trade out of their vehicles, but he's having an incredibly tough time trading them out because they have too much negative equity. They have too much negative equity because we put them in a long-term loan with no money down, right? That's the worst thing for our customers, a long-term loan with no money down. Now, that's the easiest thing for our debts. The easiest thing to pencil is a longer-term loan, no money down, because the payment's lower, right? It's also better, it's not better, but it's easier for our finance department, right? Finance department, if you need to sell a warranty and we need to make sure that customer has the coverage that they need, it's easier for that to be $15 a month more than it is for it to be $60 a month more, okay? So it's easier on our side if we put the customer in a long-term loan, no money down, finance more. But what's best for the customer is to make sure we're on a shorter-term loan with some money down to put them in a position where they can do business with us 3 years down the road. That's where leasing comes in. If you're not taking leasing seriously now, you need to work on that. If you're uncomfortable with it, we need to work on that. If it scares you a little bit because you don't understand it, we got to work on that. Now, what we've done is Bill has been coming in here every month for 3 days or so and helping us out a little bit. But that can only do so much. We feel like it's incredibly important we focus on this all the time and that you guys have the tools that you need to be able to do it. So Martin Mazzetti is now our leasing manager, 365 days a year. Martin is here for you to help you guys as far as leasing and to help the desk so we can get a better process on leasing so you can get that out quicker, okay? So welcome, Martin. We appreciate it. What else? John Hinkson.
We need, I talked to Megan about it, and all our copies, we're always making copies of the stuff. We need those in the bundle or in dealer socket, so you can just print out your referral sheets, your 72-hour exchange. I mean, this copy, it looks unprofessional. I mean, after about 12 times, it's crooked.
Sure.
It just looks like crap.
Okay.
You know how I am with my deal jackets.
Yes.
I like everything tight, and I want that in there. It's either in the bundle or individually, because you can save that, and you always have a copy in your socket. So
Done.
just add those things in. The references, that sheet is in there. People are still making copies of the old one. They're in that.
And see, that's something I would never see because I haven't printed a bundle in I don't know how long. So we can fix that. We can fix that. All we gotta do is scan those forms. I'll get with Megan on Monday, scan everything over to the dealer socket, we can get that fixed. Easy. What else? What's holding you guys back?
Well, Will brought up a good point. The printer. It jams up and
The printer what?
it'll jam up or it'll stop making copies and it'll take forever sometimes.
Who do we tell when that happens? Do we, or do we just
try
like?
to fix it, or we try to go tell somebody that we don't know what's going on with it?
Okay, perfect.
Paul, really.
Those are under lease. Yeah, Paul. Those are under lease, and we have a maintenance contract with those guys. So anytime that stuff's going on, we just need to, we gotta call the print company and get them over here and get it fixed. Now, obviously, we can't wait for them to get here. We gotta do something in the process, but we gotta let them know that stuff's going on. Printer. We've been having printer issues for 7 years. Okay, good. Come on, let's get deep. Let's get real. Let's get raw.
Traffic and parking. Like, we need a traffic flow of some sort, and we need to make sure we're putting our cars back because there's just no space up front. Like today, it'd be absolute madhouse. But even on a Wednesday, we'll have parking issues.
Last week I had 35 cars on the front line. 21 of those cars had salespeople's names attached to them. 21 of the 35. So how do we fix that? Who's doing it? Raise your hand if you're leaving cars up front all the time on purpose. Yeah, man. Nobody wants to admit to it. But yes, very good, Jim. We've got to make sure that we keep that front open. Why is that important?
That's where customers park.
It's where the customers park. Now, if I drive an hour and a half to get here and I pull in and I can't even find a stinking parking spot, I'm going to loop around, maybe not be real happy. Then you finally come out to greet me when you find me over there parked by the warehouse. And it's not a good experience for our customers, right? So please, keep those cleared out. How many keys are you guys able to check out? 3, 5, 9, 12, 15? Nobody knows? Is it enough?
Not on Saturday.
It's not enough on Saturday? All right, so if I can unlock some more keys, can you guys keep the cars off the front line? Is that a fair trade? All right, good. Let's talk BDC. How we feel about it? Let's be honest. How's the process of lead distribution? Perfect? Because if it's perfect, we're not going to change nothing. Raise your hand if you think it's perfect. Not one hand raised, but yet none of you guys will speak up. Come on, man.
I think everybody's just confused on the process.
Okay.
You know, as far as my knowledge, I've heard, you know, if you're in the top 5, you're going to get the first 5 leads of the day.
Okay.
Other people, you know, it scares them. You know, what if I'm not in the top 5? Top 5 is going to stay the same. You know.
I agree.
Just a lot of nobody really knows how you're going to get leads. Like you could go, hey, you got anything, Jack? You got anything, Jessica? Can I get? You need anything? Pictures? Okay, cool. Or something like that. But now you just, what I do just who I talk to.
You can't really multitask either, work a couple deals at once, or have something ready for Saturday.
I think the biggest thing is it takes the hustler's advantage away. Like yesterday when it was raining, you know, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, I'd come in on a normal day if it wasn't raining, or if it's pouring down rain, I'd go back to BDC asking if they have anything. I don't care to go take pictures out in the rain and work 2 or 3 leads and get them ready for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
When I can't go do that, now I'm standing outside twiddling my fingers waiting for a lead for 3.5 hours. I stood outside yesterday, you know.
Okay. Yep.
I can get more stuff done when I got more stuff to do.
Gotcha.
You know.
Yeah, that's how you set an early morning appointment for the day and that kind of stuff.
Right. Miles?
This is coming from somebody that's seen and been on both sides of it. I can tell you, in the year and a half I was back there, half this room was almost never seen in there. So there's a group that comes back all the time and gets leads, and those are generally, for the most part, the people at the top. I mean, it's simple fact. I mean, the people that are hustling, like Kelly said, those are the people that are selling the cars. And I mean, I've seen it since I came back to the floor. There's, again, half the people are hustling and half the people aren't. And we're not gonna hit that 1,000 with half the people hustling.
How do you feel about that, Sam?
You already know how I feel about it, so I'm not gonna go over it.
How you feel about half the people hustling and half the people not?
Well, I think somebody that takes, you know, on the 3rd day of the month, you didn't sell anything on the 1st day of the month, and you go ahead and take a day off, and you come in 11, and you wanna go back and get a lead, maybe we should have somebody that actually is out on the lot looking for somebody, instead of us having to constantly get text messages about, oh, there's an up on the truck lot, there's an up on the Rite Aid lot, there's an up here, because you guys are trying to figure out, trying to get your 16 appointments that you have set up, where you didn't actually freaking work for any of them.
Yesterday it was Friday and it was raining, and the receptionist just texted at least 5, 7 times, hey, up on the desk, up at the desk. You guys need to be watching the lot. I mean, it's not all in the BDC, just watch the lot, there's ups everywhere.
There's certain leads that don't need attention, and those are supposed to be the ones that the guys that are now managers used to go out and fight for. You guys aren't fighting for the door anymore. You're fighting to get back into the BDC. You can't get on the phones because you're fighting to go ahead and see what they need help with. They don't need help with everything.
I don't think that somebody who hasn't been outside all month should have 3 appointments on a Saturday. I think that if you can't go outside and wait for an up and walk the lot, that you shouldn't get an appointment. Everybody else is
I don't think
outside.
somebody that worked a day and a half should have 3 appointments set up on Saturday.
If you're not outside hustling, trying to generate your own business, you don't need to be getting business from somebody else who is working.
John, how many referral sheets do I sign off for you on a month?
I think the average is 17. Okay, so let's look at this all together collectively, okay? Now, obviously, you've got everybody's different angles of how to look at it, right? From a salesperson perspective, 70 to 75% of the leads, which that number will continue to go up. We're in a technology era. So 70 to 75% of the leads are going to come they're going to come through the BDC, right? So as a salesperson, where's the honey hole? It's in the BDC. That's where the most leads are, right? The up bus, like Sean Hayes said on that video we watched yesterday, the up bus, when I was back on the sales floor, we used to say, let's wait for the up bus to arrive. But the up bus is dead, okay? It's coming out of the BDC. So we've got some salesman's perspective there. I want to work stuff out of the BDC. Now we have a BDC perspective that half of you guys will hustle and work their leads and do what they need done in an efficient manner, and the other half of you guys won't. So if I'm a BDC person, who do I want? If I get paid on a sold deal out of the BDC, who do I want to have my deal? I want to give it to the hustler, right? The guy that's going to grind and he's going to get it done quick. Then on the other side, you've got management team that is their job to make sure that all 45 salespeople that we have here are successful. So they got to find a way to make sure that everybody is fairly getting their piece of the pie. So that's the struggle, and that's why, Luis, right now, what you're feeling is some confusion on exactly how it's going to work and how to do it, because we've got 3 different angles and perspectives that we have to cater to as far as the BDC leads. My personal opinion, take it for what it's worth. I'm just in my Raider shirt. I'm not the GM. But my personal opinion is, if my BDC people are going to get paid when a deal gets sold, they have a right, they have every right to expect the person on the other end of that to do their job right now. That's their right. 100%. So if they give me a lead and I'm running over here and then I decide, oh, well, hold on, I want to grab something to eat first, or I'm going to go smoke a cigarette, or I'm going to do something else before I take care of this customer, and I decide to do that, if I'm the BDC person, I'm out on that dude. I don't want to give him no more leads. I want somebody who's going to take care of my stuff right now. My opinion, from management, it's their job to make sure everybody gets to the top. Every single person in here has to get to the top. And if we give you all the tools, and we give you every opportunity, and you have everything accessible, and you can't get there, then you might not need to be a part of our team. That's my opinion. If you're going to be lazy and just sit back and only do this and only do that, and I've heard people like get a lead and not want it, oh my gosh. Go work at a different store, please. You'll be begging for a lead. You'll be on your knees groveling for a lead. But I've got people turning down leads? No. Can't have it. In my opinion, from the sales guy side, do I think giving the top 5 guys the first 5 leads every day is good? No. I don't think it's very good and conducive for building a team at all. I think it's good for getting 15 or 20 guys to the top and having 15 or 20 guys starve. It's my opinion. So, as a management team, when we get out of this meeting, let's get together. Will you stay with us? I want you to stay. I want you to stay, Miles, because you've been in both sides. And let's get this hammered out into a way that's fair for everybody involved. Okay? All right. Anything else? Anything else standing in your way? What about your team leaders? Are your team leaders helping you guys? That's why I got them right up front here, so their backs are to you. So they won't know. Just whisper. Is your team leader helping you out? Yes? No? Raise your hand if you feel like your team leader is doing everything in his power to help you be successful. Okay. That's what I like to see. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Okay. Randy.
My biggest complaint from customers, it just takes, the time I walk in and the time I leave, it just takes too long.
Too long.
It's just most, probably 75%, man, we're here with
everyone agree process is too long?
Yes.
Raise your hand if you agree. Okay, process is too long. First stage of the process that's too long is what? Finding the card, right? That's taking too long now because we've only got Keychalk dongles in 1,100 units out of 15. Two out of 3 cars have it. So that's the first part that's a little bit too long. Now let's attack that real quick. If 75% of these are BDC leads, 75% are coming out of the BDC, so it's an appointment, and we know that they're coming, why don't we already know where that car is? And who should know where that car is? Is it the BDC? Should the BDC person know where that car is, or should they be handing them all out to salesmen? That's something we got to decide. Because if we want to make sure our customer experience is fast and efficient, all the leads might need to go to salespeople so they can be touched. I don't know. It's something we got to look at, though. But I think that 3 out of 4 customers should walk in here and we should already know where that car is. If not, we can't have it up front because we don't have customer parking. But we should already know where that car is. We should already have made sure that car's got gas in it. We should already make sure that that car's clean. That way when they get here, we can show it to them and we're ready to roll. You guys agree? Okay. Let's work on that in the manager's meeting. We're going to have a manager's meeting after this.
Yep.
So thank you for your feedback. Okay? I think that's part of the process. What else is slowing us down? Do we have enough? Do we have enough people in subprime? No. Not enough people in subprime. Is that the consensus? Does it take too long back there? Now, Brad, does it take too long because it just takes a long time to work a bad credit deal? Or do we not have enough people?
Couple things. Number one, half the people bring their snips up, the other half don't. Do you ask good questions when you come in so that we can make decisions that are gonna help the customers? And we're working with the lenders to give us answers. There's a lot of these lenders that have 45-minute time. It takes a long time to make a decision. You have to break down all of it. That slows us down. So, whether or not another person would help or not, eventually, yeah. I don't know. We'll decide how quickly, but.
So if you guys got better information right up front,
Yes.
things would be
Always, it's
faster.
everything.
Yes.
If people would ask good questions,
Okay.
and I don't wanna make this into a sales seminar, but you really need to sit down with the customer when you determine that they can't buy anything that they want,
I'm listening.
and find out basically what their situations and needs assessment is.
Okay, you're brand new. You've been with us 5 weeks now, right? Okay, what are some really good questions to ask bad credit customers?
Yes.
Okay.
So we
Not
need to
trying to
do
put
some
you on the
training.
spot.
Oh, you know.
We need to do better training, right? Okay. I believe 15 people in this room or as salespeople have worked here 6 months or less.
And I want to apologize because I grew up in an area where some of you guys mentioned, you got trained in this. That's old school thinking.
Sure.
But also, you guys have to realize that when we go out and we talk to your customers, the old saying that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, you need to be listening to the questions that we're asking. That is part of your training. We can start getting involved and have some training in the morning. with
Yes,
these
please.
guys. But please, apply this stuff when it comes in. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable to ask people really personal questions. We're not all raised that way to ask somebody, well, do you have a paycheck stub? Because I need to know what you make, because the bank needs to see this, because we're at a higher risk. It's not a comfortable thing when we have to flip the switch to somebody that comes in and has the affordability and the accessibility to get money anywhere they want on terms they like. So when we're trying to break down a scenario, and I don't believe we control people, you hear that a lot, so we control situations by asking good questions, and we're gonna get involved and start giving you guys the good questions to ask. Just make sure when you do that, it's breaking down and resonating. We wanna show you 3 or 4 times, like we said, training, and then I need to be able to count, we need to be able to count on each one on the floor to get better and better at that, so that we can be more efficient.
Sure.
So I agree, it needs to be done in here weekly.
So you guys are gonna work on bringing better information to the subprime, so we can go faster, and they're gonna work on show you how to do that. John?
Let's say at that point, we go to Sam or whoever up there, and at that point, when we have to go see Brad, or we already know ahead of time, there we are, dealer socket, let's pull up this sheet, and start putting what they want, and you fill that out before you even go back to the gym.
Checklist.
Checklist, right there.
Checklist.
It's a checklist.
Valley Drive was like, just go through the list, you know, have it right there, but when we go back there, here's all your stuff.
Because things you
Perfect.
look at
Like it.
when you work
Like
these
it a
types
lot.
of deals,
Good,
when
good,
we
good.
say you start from kind of work it
It's
backwards.
like you're right, only a few of us know, because we've been back there so many times.
Right.
And then it just, everybody calls them up, you know, they're running back and forth, and I still forget, you know,
Sure.
Who's worked a, let me ask, who's worked a custom deal for 2 or 3 hours, successfully landed your customer in a car that, or vehicle that they like, they're ready to take delivery, and you found out that they never thought about insurance, haven't had it for 6 months.
Right.
Those are things that you need to find out in the beginning when you realize that we're dealing with someone that needs to be walked through the process in a manner that works, that works for them, and that starts at the beginning.
All right, so better training there, better information coming up to the deck. Got to make sure that we have the cards and ready for the customer so they can have a better experience as soon as they get here. Now, you mentioned appraisals. Are we getting way backed up on appraisals still? Is there enough guys on the desk? They're fast. Salespeople, you guys all agree? Not as bad as it used to be. Okay. Very, very, very good. Okay, good. And what about getting a pencil from the desk? Pretty fast? What about getting the customer back through finance? No complaints there? Everything's going smooth? Finance team's doing good? What do you guys think about Tim Walton back in finance? He doing all right? Yeah. It's like the Chargers, right? Hit or miss. Yes, Paul.
I have one request too, on speed of process to get through the desk. If you have a customer who's financing and you get an okay from the desk, just make sure you bring back the credit app and the pencil to the desk so that can be done. I've had people just bring me everything all at once, and I could have been setting that up and getting approval and all that. So speed of process, that'll shave 5 to 10 minutes off that easy. Just to make sure that I can load everything that I possibly can, waiting on you to get the insurance and all the rest of the bundle signed. So if you could make sure you do that, that would help at least speed part of that process up.
Yeah, we take pictures of the VIN before you take your car back to detail, or before you run away for 20 minutes.
Because you know you're going to get it in.
Move forward, and you haven't done it. And then you say, I gotta run the car down, or this and that, come over here to take that picture when you get the extra miles, when you fire sale.
And when you come to the desk, have a deal jacket, even if you don't have credit or anything, have a deal jacket, have your license, have your insurance, have that. I see a lot of people come up with nothing, just say, hey, I need a pencil. Just, just having that little amount of stuff helps a lot.
The more information you get up front, it'll speed things up for sure. Okay. All right. We got to wrap this thing up because you guys got to go sell cars. So here's how I want to finish this. My door is open. Okay. My door is open, and I'm here Monday through Friday. I'm here fairly early to fairly late. And Saturdays, today I'll be here. I got to pick my daughter up at 11:15. So I'll be here for a couple more hours. But my door is open, and please understand that I need you guys' help. I think we all agree that we're a really stinking good dealership, and the numbers we put up are massive. But we were able to quickly list so many different ways that we can get better. We have so much more potential in this store. You guys have so much more potential in you. The video stuff we talked about yesterday, we need to do more of. Hustling a little bit more, we got to do more of it. Passing on leads? Oh no. Please don't let me ever hear of anybody passing on a lead. Okay? You're passing on leads.
Unless you're busy and you can't do it at that moment.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay? So there's so many ways that we can get better. And we can get this dealership to 1,000 cars a month, which is where we need to be. See? They're all starting to go sell this. Okay? But I want us to talk, and I want us to communicate, and I want you guys to know that I care deeply for each and every one of you and for this dealership's success. Okay? So, does everyone know the mission that we're on? All right, let's stand up and share. Go ahead, Terry. Face this way. All right. There you go.
Right here?
Yep, right there.
I am on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. I can do this by making people feel special, feel important, and feel like they're the only one. I will offer an experience that will exceed my customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. I will not just sell cars, I will create things.
houses stand. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. You could have cut the air with a knife in here. It's a little tense, but these are things we got to talk through, man. What's important to us is that we offer an incredible experience for all of our customers. Just because we had a record October last month doesn't mean we're going to sit here and cheer and run laps. We've got work to do. There's so many things that we can be doing better for our customers. So many things that we can be doing better for our customer experience as well as our employee experience. That's what we work on. That's what we do here at Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick every single day. I'm going to come visit the dealership one day. Mr. Martin, I would love it. I would love it if you'd come visit the dealership. I'm always open for people coming by. I'm so proud of this place that we've built, going from 120 cars a month to 850 cars a month in the last 6 years. It's just, this is like my house. This is my home. So I would love to show it to you. Al Giamarino, always getting better. You guys are the best. Thanks, Al, man. I appreciate that. My boy Scott Simons just hopped in. Scott, we're actually just now getting ready to close down the meeting, but since you just hopped in, I just hope that you and your team are going to take this weekend. Not only are you going to disrupt the auto industry, because I know you guys like to do the right thing, not only are you going to disrupt the auto industry, but you guys are going to find ways to make the experience for your customers 10 times better. 10X, Grant Cardone style. That's what we're doing here. I'm going to put my managers on the spot. We're getting ready to have a managers meeting. So we're going to put the managers on the spot. We put the salespeople on the spot. We put the BDC on the spot. We put subprime on the spot. Everybody's always going to be under the microscope because we got to keep getting better. Nick Hadley, you, sir, you are the best. All right, you guys have a big weekend. Take care.